let's digress. Yeah.
They're gonna really turn us into European Cigars.
Baby, your name is Marshall. Baby, your name is Marshall. You should be a blue-collar worker. We're working at an Anglo-American steel mine. You should be eating briskets for dinner with your wife named Amy, who goes to church every single Sunday, who has to pray about the fact that you're literally on Grindr cheating on her, and instead of calling you out for your own homosexuality, she's instead praying to the Lord to take the spirit of Leviticus 18 away from you. Like, baby, your name is Marshall. Like, you are a white man. What do you know about sexuality? But anyways, I digress.
1, 2, 3. Welcome to the Welcome to the European Cigars Ponks Politicized. It's me, Shamla, and
this is me, Ona.
And today we're discussing the desensitization of Gen Z to political problems. Now, honestly, this conversation started between me and my friends, and we were talking about how, jokes such as spiritually blue and white, if you know what I mean. We're talking about, jokes about COVID, genocide, or the entire jokes that were happening in
about the Epstein files.
About Epstein Island, P. Diddy, and jokes that were happening about First World War, as type of thing. And I feel like people are underestimating the immense trauma that Gen Z has had to go through. Like, we were recently discussing how scary, how petrifying COVID actually was for everybody.
I mean, you literally had to stay indoors. You weren't allowed to go outside. You had to stay indoors. Mind you, the lockdown lasted for months. You're literally within your own house for months. You couldn't go anywhere without a permit. People literally lost their jobs. So many kids, for example, I was in grade 7 during that time, and so was he. I never got to graduate. I missed, I think, half of that year due to that. I never got to graduate. I never had Entrepreneur's Day. I never had a farewell. So much of that year, and possibly my life, was taken away. Imagine where you could have been had COVID not happened.
Exactly.
Think about it like that.
I fell into depression. I got I weighed 125 kilograms at 13. I had recently, there was so much. And I think people, reducing it to just staying in your house was a bit because realistically, as much as that was the big part of quarantine, guys, every single day when you're watching the news, there's a death toll. You getting sick literally meant you probably had the disease and you die. Your parents lost their jobs, your grandparents died. There was just so much happening. That level of isolation and that level of paranoia at such a young age is what desensitized us, and we had TikTok as an outlet. So basically, and there's this recurring joke Gen Z, while everybody else was dying, we were just dancing. Yeah, we were dancing, otherwise we were gonna.
Exactly.
We had literally no other option but to smile, because the only two options are smile or cry. And regardless of which option you choose, baby, the world is not gonna change. And another thing, and it's pretty clear and evident that was our coping mechanism in 2020, because jumpstart to 2026, we're dealing with the first World
War. The Epstein files just came out. Capitalism is going crazy.
Economy is still crashing.
The economy is crashing. Unemployment is an all-time high. There's so many economic, social, and environmental issues
that are happening.
We're just joking about them because
it's overwhelming.
It's literally COVID's fault, y'all.
It's literally all we can do.
The way people like to complain that Gen Z is too unserious. So the thing is, what is there to be done?
There really isn't much of a difference between someone who's politically inclined and apolitical.
Not, because either way, nothing is changing.
Nothing is changing on both sides. Now, obviously, we want people to be politically inclined, but at the same time, there is an aspect of both people aren't really contributing in the greater aspect of things to changing the system. You being a leftist doesn't automatically mean the entire world is going to be a leftist, Because I am a leftist, both of us are, we're intersectional feminists, but us being those things doesn't exactly mean the world is going to change overnight. Now, obviously, as much as that's collective effort and everything does start in the abstract realm, and what I mean by that, everything starts as concepts, conversations, ideas before they manifest into reality, such as systems and legislation and stuff like that. And I do think these conversations are important. I also don't think bashing and alienating people that simply just want to laugh and have absolutely no idea how to navigate these politics is the correct way to approach these things, And even when it came to Epstein style and P. Diddy, do you guys even remember what y'all were saying in the 2010s? about black people, about women, about children.
Exactly.
Like, I think we forget where we come from and how far
Like,
we actually...
Look at how your brother, like for example, like look at how our parents were talking about R. Kelly. Our parents knew, like they knew what R. Kelly was doing before the police even knew and started investigating him, and they still didn't care. They continued to sing his songs. They still sing his songs. Like, guys, like people say that Gen Z is unserious and is desensitized. Guys, like the difference between, like we're all the same. The difference between millennials and Gen Z, that we grew up during completely different times. We're growing up during a very like up world, and that is why it's so easy to point out the fact that Gen Z is unserious. Millennials were exactly the same, but they aren't going to be labeled as unserious because there was nothing that bad that they could that they could have been serious about during their time. Like everything was really like rainbows and roses everywhere.
You know, as much as that, in reality, that wasn't rainbows and roses for millennials, because millennials are the same people that went through apartheid and the Jim Crow.
No, I feel like I'm talking from like a global thing. I'm not reducing this to just South Africa. Hence,
but then again, millennials still went through like Jim Crow and stuff like that. But anyway, we're not trying to cause generational wars up in this house. What we're trying to say is that Gen Z needs to get some slack, you know, for being or wanting to be apolitical. Because I do believe that Gen Z is the most politically inclined. We're literally labeled the woke generation for a reason, right? We are deemed as the most politically inclined generation, but also I think one of the most traumatized, considering the reason into why we prioritize mental health so much is because our mental health extremely declined during all of these world issues. You know what I mean? Like being suicidal at 13 was the norm, you know, like which should not be like what? But we had so much confusion, so much dysphoria, you know.
And don't say it in the past tense because it's not like nothing has changed. There is instability everywhere, and we are still feeling all of those things.
It's just that we're finding ways. Like, baby, I had a breakdown yesterday, honey. Like, it's not getting it's not getting easier for any one of us. You know what I mean? And then you're having a breakdown about your own personal life, and then you go onto TikTok and you find out, oh my gosh, someone's
dying. Yeah, like baby, like doctors and engineers were literally protesting on the streets because of unemployment. Like we're literally like, if they are not getting any jobs, we shouldn't even be making CVs.
Exactly.
We shouldn't be making CVs because, you know, just
what is that degree again?
Biological sciences.
What is the employment rate?
Yeah.
What is the employment rate?
The way the course is so irrelevant, there's not even an official statistic detailing whether or not you can get jobs with it. So again, like, are you listening to our problems? Do you hear exactly why Gen Z chooses to be unserious? Because it's like there are so many issues that we need to confront, and if we try to confront these issues are just gonna like wallow. It's just gonna consume.
And another thing,
it's just gonna consume us.
Like, I don't feel like Gen Z has the support of millennials.
It does not.
I feel like back in the past, there really wasn't a generational war. You know, like, because Gen X and millennials were like, okay, buddy, you know, I'm your father. I mean, like, guys, Tina, not only our parents, some of them died, some of them don't have jobs, or some of them are belated, like, you know, but like this on a generational scale, like the millennials, just there's a constant fight between millennials and Gen Z. Mind you, millennials are the people are supposed to be mentoring Gen Z and saying,
I blame Eminem. You wanna cancel me, Gen Z me, bruh? It's Eminem's fault.
Like, in which that song was crazy. Like, not gonna lie, because what did we do to that man? Like, baby, I'm sorry that we can't make you chart anymore. But
that album did chart. That's the sad part. That album did chart. Guys, Eminem is among the top 10 most streamed rappers of all time. If I catch you, Dr. Dre, yo! Why did you put that man under you? Him even being famous in the first place. And the fact that he's considered one of the best rappers of all time. But let me tell you, let's digress.
You're gonna get us killed.
I'm serious. Oh, no. You know what it was? It was 11. The girl...
Stop talking. You're going to get us killed.
Let's digress, yeah.
They're gonna really turn us into European Cigars.
Baby, your name is Marshall. Baby, your name is Marshall. You should be a blue-collar worker. We're working at an Anglo-American steel mine. You should be eating briskets for dinner with your wife named Amy, who goes to church every single Sunday, who has to pray about the fact that you're literally on Grindr cheating on her, and instead of calling you out for your own homosexuality, she's instead praying to the Lord to take the spirit of Leviticus 18 away from you. Like, baby, your name is Marshall. Like, you are a white man. What do you know about sexuality? But anyways, I digress.
She's sitting around, running around, talking about my husband and the father of my children, and she spends her weekends peddling through sperm banks, looking through catalogs to try to find a donor. Honey, you don't know if your baby daddy will be an axe murderer or a child molester, because what you will know is that he needed $10 to get him a medium-sized pizza, so he ejaculated in a cup so you could have a kid. Now check that.
I digress. I digress. So what were we saying? Millennials versus Gen Z?
All this is for entertainment purposes only. Do not take it seriously. We're just...
Yes.
No, actually, as long as the Breakfast Club can exist, we can exist too.
Exactly. The Shade Room exists, so can I.
If the Shade Room, if...
Open chats.
If the Breakfast Club can exist...
So can we.
Exactly. We can say what you want to say. If those conservative, racist, bigoted podcasts can exist, we can say what we want to say.
Yes.
I don't care if they take it personal. Anyway, guys, don't dox me. Anyway, as we were saying, but you see that humor is very ingrained in us because it's a coping mechanism, guys. Guys. It's very easy to become depressed in our generation because there's such an accumulation of problems. And I feel like, as much as there were bigger problems maybe back then, I also feel like we're so, because of TikTok and the fact that the problem's like right in front of you, it gets harder and harder to ignore. Because in the past, it's like you had to read the newspaper or listen to the radio, in which you can just ignore those things, you know what I mean? And as much as it's not the right thing to do, sometimes it's just the right thing to do for your mental. Right now, you go into TikTok, you're trying to have a fun time, you find someone dying, asking for donations. You find someone, let's say a GoFundMe, you're being guilt-tripped. It's like, you don't care about these issues when you do this. And it's kind of like, bruh, I came onto TikTok to have a good time.
And now look what I'm facing.
And now I'm just faced with a woman who's crying out to me to donate money that I still don't have. All I can do is repost, share, favorite. And when I do those things, the algorithm takes it, I like that type of content. Like, no, I don't like that. I don't want to see people dying because internally I already am. You know? Like, I don't need to see that foreshadowing, babes.
We're gonna edit that out, right?
No. But, yeah. You know what I mean? I feel like being vulnerable is one of yeah, ne? But...
And like, you don't even need to go online. For example, there are protests not so long ago. There are protests everywhere throughout the institution because we're university students. So there was protests happening in the
problem is right in front of you.
So even if you turn off your phone to go outside, it's in your face. It's literally in your face.
But I don't want to make this video like very long and lengthy. That's all we're gonna say. I feel like there should be a space for people that do want to be apolitical. I think the bare minimum is you should be aware. Please go vote. Please be political aware of what's happening in your country. But don't drown in these things. Because the deeper we go into sociology, the more we find out that these
the
problems...
world is a very evil place.
Yeah. And drowning in that wallow and shame of other people's actions, not even yours, is not something that your mind and your brain is meant to deal with. Okay, that's all we're gonna say for now. Yeah, it was lovely having this podcast with the European Cigars.
Yes, it was lovely. Remember to like, subscribe, block Racy Abrams, blame Queen Naija, and Inconvenience Somber. Goodbye.
Goodbye, I love you. Mwah.